Today on BigCTV, we are going Cajun style in New Orleans, Louisiana. So it is Thursday morning, day 4, our final full day in New Orleans, and we are at the Musical Legends Park to get some beignets. We had some on the first day, but we're gonna have more today. So, last full day, but we're gonna make it count. It's gonna be a good one. I'm sure of it.
We don't have any specific plans, but we'll find things to do.
Exactly. So, now to get some beignets. Yay! So we just finished our beignets. They were delicious.
I'm still chewing.
He's still chewing. But yeah, finished them up. I got a coffee as well. So good times. So we still haven't decided yet what we want to do, but we'll figure it out.
We're hopefully going to be meeting a high school buddy of mine later today.
Yeah.
He owns a catering company here in New Orleans. Unfortunately, he's been very busy this week, so we couldn't meet him earlier.
Yeah.
But he said he's going to try to see if we can meet up at the Preservation Hall tonight. The Preservation Hall is a very famous music venue on Bourbon Street.
Yeah. So that'd be pretty cool. Well, it's gonna be an interesting day. We'll see what we can come up with to do, but I'm sure it'll be good, just like the rest of the week has been. So
we may go to the Mardi Gras World, that's what they call it.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Like, you don't go to enough worlds already. Mm-hmm. In Orlando.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I think it'll be good. So we are on Canal Street, waiting to go to Mardi Gras World. Check that out, see some interesting stuff. Should be fun.
This street is the line between the end of the French Quarter and the beginning of the business district.
So it looks very different from the French Quarter, obviously. But we've noticed that about pretty much every section of town. They're all very different from each other. So, you know, wouldn't be complete without a trip to GameStop. So,
which we did stop in.
We did. I didn't buy anything. But
for once,
yeah. I don't do that very often. But yeah, pretty good stuff.
Yeah, the place we really dying to go is that McDonald's just down there.
Oh, absolutely. Cannot wait to go to McDonald's and the Radio Shack afterwards.
Yeah.
Because you know, there isn't one of those right near my apartment. Although we might be going to the Crystal that's on Bourbon Street just for the heck of it.
Just for the heck of it.
So, you never know.
Yeah, like one Crystal.
Yeah, exactly. Just to say we've done it. So, yeah.
It's not like one Crystal's really going to fill you up.
No, definitely not. But you know, whatever works. So here we are at the entrance to Mardi Gras World. Lots of floats and cool things to look at. So I think this will be a fun experience. I'm excited. So let's go get our Mardi Gras on. Just walking in here, there's all kinds of floats and giant statues and all kinds of cool stuff. Wizard of Oz stuff. This is very unique, very cool. Very New Orleans. There's Santa Claus. So pretty cool stuff, I would say. There's Spider-Man over there next to Elvis. There's Drew Brees. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So we're going to take a look around in just a minute. See how everything looks. Here's another look at more of the stuff we have in here. It's a giant dinosaur and Batman. Creepy person with a hat. Angel. It's a pirate and American flamingo. All kinds of cool stuff. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting tour, I think. But it's pretty awesome, actually. So exciting. Here we are in the prop shop where they make the different props for the various Mardi Gras floats. So this is pretty cool. We actually get to see how a lot of this stuff is made. This is pretty cool. Get to see more stuff as we go along. Yep.
One of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah?
He worked at Disney.
Yep.
Oh.
Cool night.
Okay, now this is our prop studio out here. We either make new props here, we refurbish and fix up old props, or we change them up. Now this area right here all around you is where we give the props a thin layer of paper mache, and that's how we can paint them. The paper mache that they use is the brown art paper, repaste water, and a little bit of white glue, like what you see on the pig right there. Now, a lot of the props you'll be seeing is for a crew that's going to have the theme of children's stories. Children are very important during Mardi Gras because a lot of the people who ride these boats have families. They want them to come and watch the parade. And this, the pig I was just using for an example, is going to be representing Charlotte's Web. Now, over on the other side of the tree there, you can see a mother goose riding her goose. The little strange creature right here is supposed to be for
Where the wild things are, yeah.
I'm sorry, but he's brand new. And then behind you is Pinocchio.
Yep.
And then we have Winnie the Pooh.
Yep.
Now, Winnie the Pooh is an excellent example of our styrofoam construction. When we make something out of styrofoam, we don't buy the foam in great big blocks. We buy it 4x8 sheets that are 4 inches thick. We glue these layers together using spray foam insulation. Carve what we want from it, sand it to make it smooth, and then give it a thin layer of paper mache.
Very cool.
Now down here is where we actually make the props and make it up. Now in the front here you'll see a sketch of what they're working on. Okay? Now this is supposed to be the golden calf that they made while Moses was up on the mountain getting the Ten Commandments. This is for a crew that's going to have the theme of great journeys, and this is for the Exodus. You can see where. Now the calf here is basically being made the same way you saw the spider woman being made on the video.
There's the Exodus float.
And there's Moses back there. There's Moses right back
It's
there.
another great. It's another great journeys, ancient journeys right here. This is a Trojan horse. Now, I know you saw a big Trojan horse on the video. That was a whole float. This is going to be a smaller one to go on the front, and this is to represent the Iliad and the Odyssey. So Odysseus.
Pretty cool.
Now, this sketch right here, though, is for where the wild things are. Now, we already had this guy, the big guy on the front, but this is the little guy, and he would be called a secondary prop, basically. And here you see them working on, we're changing up the Tin Man's head. Pretty cool, huh? And so you can tell some of the accessories down the chin and all, the chin strap. So they're making this. So now the head is actually made out of fiberglass. Oh, holy cow. Oh, God. These guys mess with me every time we come through. Harry with big bootly glasses on. Okay, now, down here is where they make a lot of the big giant paper flowers and leaves and extra stuff that go on the floats. You're going to see a ton of this on the floats when we get out there to them. But the flowers and leaves are just made out of 2 pieces of poster board or tag board, glued tightly together with this really strong wire in between. Now, if it gets wet, say a little rain shower comes up, yes, it's going to get damaged, but it usually lasts long enough for the parade. Now, if it doesn't get damaged, we take everything off and save it. We started recycling here, well, over 60 years ago.
Wow.
Now, over here is where we paint the box on the other side.
So much to look at over here. It's really cool. It's a lumber.
What's from?
Pretty cool.
There are more sketches right here. Now keep in mind, when you see these sketches like this is like you guys getting a sneak peek for next Mardi Gras. And also it's what we're working on this side of the prop shop as well. Now this guy right here though,
Charles Lindbergh?
is a great example of our half-body prop. Now we have male and female half-bodies. Now some of them are made out of fiberglass like he is, others are made out of the older style hollow paper mache. But inside of them, right about where the shoulder blades ought to be, is a platform. We can take any of the big heads you see around here, set them up again the half-bodies, close up the back and have anything you need. It's a lot like having mix and match body parts that really comes in handy. Now this particular prop, look at the goggles. The goggles on his head right there.
Yeah.
So the attention to detail is astounding, basically. They never fail to amaze me. Now down here, though, this guy is Aeneas, and he's making his trip to Hades. So this is like for trips of our trips to the ancient world, right here, journeys of the ancient world. Now this guy is made out of styrofoam. You can tell what's made out of styrofoam around here. It'll be mounted on a wooden base. Now this down here though is Jester. The Jester, you don't see a lot of them around Mardi Gras. That's because the Jester is like our mascot for Mardi Gras. And that's because it came out of Mardi Gras and everything that when it got started over in Europe during medieval times. Now, of course, there was always the court jester, usually, you know. And the court jester was a different type of creature because he could tell the king he was, like he was doing something bad or, didn't like him or anything. Right, he could get away with it. Otherwise, the king could probably chop his head off. But this guy is made from fiberglass, and it's going to Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. We do their Mardi Gras parade every year.
I had a hunch.
I'll talk more about that here in a few minutes. But down here at the end, you can see on your left, over at the back, there's a couple that's dancing. Now, they are a good example of how we change things up. Now, we needed something to go on the front of the float to represent the Roaring Twenties. Well, we made her a flapper and made him a kind of a zoot suit, not a zoot suit down on. A zoot suit's a lot more looser and everything. And we gave him a hat. We gave her a shorter dress that she had on and put the fringe on. Now, it's a lot easier to take something you have like that and start with it rather than start from scratch. And not only saves time, it saves a lot of money as well. Now, when you get through, come back in here and wander and look and study things more closely. There's so much to look at. We're going to go around the corner here to the left and start in on the other side of the big wall. And here's the guy shooting that one.
Nice shot of the three caballeros. Three Stooges. Judgmental Dolphin. That's cool looking.
Rough.
There's Yoda.
Now, as you come through, you may have noticed There he is. As you come through, you may have noticed other things we do here. We do work for hotels and restaurants. We do a ton of work for casinos. We do have an office in Orlando because of the work we do for Universal down there. And we do prop work for Disney down there too. You see some of their stuff as you go through. And we even make the Chick-fil-A billboard cows, if you're familiar with them. That is a huge, big project there.
Very interesting.
Down here on your left, though, you're going to see some really strange blocks. And the fact that you have no faces. Now, these are called cutouts. And they're designed for you to come back to after the tour and all faces to take pictures. But let me give you a heads up on these things. They're designed for really tall people. Now, if you're short like I am, you'll have to use the booster steps behind them. But if you do, please be careful, okay?
He works with Disney.
All right. That's cool. Now, down here on your right, you'll see some props that have been refurbished for next Mardi Gras, but they're not up on the floats yet. And that's because the floats aren't ready for them yet. But, you know, what you see here is a fraction of what we have. We have 14 other warehouses full of floats and props as well. And, you know, some of the crews on the warehouses, we go to their warehouse to work on their floats. But all the prop work's done here, and then we take the props wherever they need to go. Now, down here is where we actually make new floats. We refurbish the old ones and change them up. You know, the average lifespan of a float is about 30 years. That's chassis and everything.
Wow.
But about every 10 years, we bring them in and refurbish them. That's where we get rid of all the old vinyl wood and we change out the fabric that's not too heavy for paint. Now, over on your left here is a brand new float that we're building. They brought it in about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was just 2 big giant steel high and a steel frame up inside. Now, we didn't make that. We had that made for us. Then our guys have gone to work building a float around that out of the plywood and 2x4s. When they get it built, they're going to cover the sides with a cotton unbleached muslin. We'll paint that over with the white paint and make it almost like an artist's canvas to paint and draw on it. And so therefore, the paint that we use on the floats is the same thing we use on the props. It's an interior latex. It cleans up with water, but it becomes permanent once it's dry. And you know, it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to build a float from the chassis up. But down here is quite possibly some of the most beautiful floats you will ever see in Mardi Gras. These are the floats. These are the floats that we completely change up every year. We bring them in, take everything off of them, paint them white, and start all over again. The reason we go to all that trouble is to keep everything nice, new, and fresh. I mean, hey, if you come to the parade here, you see something new. Now, these floats belong to Orpheus. And Orpheus loves all these big, giant paper flowers on their floats. It's kind of their trademark. They use tons of them every year. They also use a lot of gold and silver leaf. They use that like you might use big glitter to make the float sparkle and shine. Now, as you walk around, though, you're going to see ropes and hooks hanging over the sides of the floats. Now, actually, these things are supposed to be inside the float, because this is what the crew members tie around their waist to prevent them from falling off the float. They have to do this. The big hooks inside are what they hang their beads from. There are fire extinguishers on every float, and there are restrooms on every float, because you can be on the float 6 to 8 hours, and if you have something to drink, you'll probably need to go. Now, most of the floats, or just about all of them, are pulled out front with tractors. We own 130 tractors, and we hire the drivers. Anything on the float that needs electricity, like lights or animation, are plugged into the back of the tractors where we have generators. Now, these floats right here that belong to Orpheus have some of their theme on them from last Mardi Gras. Their theme last year was called Creative World. Well, that can be just about anything. But they also kind of make it like fantasy, okay? That's why some of the props look a bit strange, okay? But interesting, all right? And And this parade took place on the Monday night, right before Mardi Gras Day, and it was a nice, dry, happy parade. See how pretty the flowers and all are? So they've started to take them off, and we're saving them down at the end of the room down there. And also, these floats that you're in between here, these big ones, are about the average size float for the really large cruise. They can carry about 35 to 40 crew members each. They're all double-deckers. That means there's 2 levels to them. And they cost, now I'm talking chassis, everything, the whole 9 yards, $50,000 to $80,000 a piece. Now, each one of these parades has to have a minimum of 14 floats. You have to have 14 to get a parade permit, all the way up to the maximum of maybe 40 floats. So you're talking some big money right here. Now, once you own the float, though, and you just want to retheme it, bring it in, take everything off, paint it white, put a new theme on it, that'll run you like $6,000 or $7,000. That is a huge difference. Now, we have about 50 full-time year-round employees. About 20 of that are artists. We do have prop artists, float artists, and sketch artists. We still have to have support people, base painters, carpenters, welders, and electricians. Now, does anybody have any questions? Feel free to ask.
Alright, so we just finished going to Mardi Gras World. That was a lot of fun. We got to learn about how the floats were made, as you saw, and got to take lots of pictures and see lots of cool stuff. So it was a really, really enjoyable experience. So now we're at the point of our trip where we're kind of doing all the stuff that we've been meaning to do but didn't do. So my dad wanted to come to here to get that. So we're at the part of our trip now where we're doing all the things that we wanted to do but either didn't get to do or put off until the end of our trip. So Dad wanted to come here to get char-broiled oysters, so that's why we're here for lunch. So we're about to do something very, important that we have to do, which is get Crystal on Bourbon Street because we can. And it's just kind of funny.
And it's just silly.
Yeah, so we're going to Crystal's on Bourbon Street. Alright, so for today's recap, it was our last day, full day in New Orleans. We leave tomorrow. It was a really good day. We got to check out Mardi Gras World, which was pretty cool. Got to listen to some jazz, had some good food. For the evening, we met up with my dad's old friend from high school, so they got to meet up, so that was pretty cool. And we got some free drinks, got to go to this like catering event or something at this popular jazz hall, so we got some free drinks, got to listen to some jazz. That was pretty cool. I had this really strong drink at a bar afterwards. I'm not sure what it was, but it was good, but I'm not used to drinking that hardcore, especially because I had 4 drinks, so I'm kind of wiped out. So my dad went out again to listen to more jazz, but I'm kind of done for the night. So yeah, I'd say today was a pretty solid day, and it's been a great trip overall. I mean, we're not done. We still got tomorrow morning, so we'll probably grab beignets in the morning and head on the road back to Florida. But it's been a pretty terrific trip. So yeah, if you've watched all the episodes, thank you for watching all of them. So yeah, I might do one more for the trip back. I might not. We'll see. If I don't do one more, thank you for watching BigCTV Cajun style. If I do, then I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.